Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to another LockBoss show and giveaway. I tell you what, it's gonna be a fun conversation today. It's just gonna be me on this side of the internet and then you on the other. So I'm excited to really dive in, talk about the start of the State of the Industry Report, dig in a little bit. I got some questions for you. And then, of course, we're going to be announcing this week's 5 Lucky LockBoss winners. So super pumped up about that and to kind of go over it all. And I'm sorry, I kind of see the comments a little bit, but yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. But first and foremost, of course, I'm going to be drinking a Topo Chico. So cheers to all you out there drinking a Topo or your favorite beverage of choice. I tell you, it's the first one today for me. First one, but I'm liking it. James, I am not sure actually if what the thumbnail looks like to even know if it's a CLK shirt or not in it. So I'll have to, you have me curious. I would look while we were doing this, while I'm taking a couple sips of Topo, but I'll tell you what, I would not be able to talk at the same time, as you know. So I only can do one thing at a time, it seems. But and a couple other quick things, all right, before we get going here. Number one is, of course, we have our after party. And when this show gets done and you're like, you know what, I just want more. Well, guess what? Good news. You can head on over to our friend Jimmy J, also known as Iowa Lock Docs Discord, link in the chats. I saw him putting it in there a few minutes ago. Jimmy, thank you. And you can come hang out for a little bit. All right. So now Jimmy's not going to be there tonight, so it's probably not going to be as fun. But some of us B-cast members like myself, BC, I'll be in there for sure, at least for a while. So tonight, actually, I'm going to be giving a presentation to the NW LA, the Northwest Locksmithing Association. And I'll be doing that at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're a member of the NWLA, hopefully I'll be seeing you in about 3 hours. So excited for that as well. But so yeah, we got that going on. And another thing. Check this out. So in the Discord, actually, our friend Newhouse, a lock and key. He sent me a shirt in the past. Super duper nice guy. He actually sent me a few gifts. He actually sent me a nice little note right here, which is pretty cool. Sent me a couple stickers. Check those out. And he actually sent me 3 different items. I believe these are his own. They are a Nexus tension wrench and 2 rewind picks in the .020 and the .025. Now, truth be told, I've never used these before. And so I'm excited to try them out. I haven't got to yet, Tyler, but hopefully soon I will. So once again, and I know for a fact that Newhouse also has a YouTube channel. So, of course, check it out. Why not, right? Why not check it out? But, all right, yeah, as Scully says, the homie Newhouse. I like it. But, yeah, thanks again for that. So, okay, is there any other things? You know how I'm sitting here, I'm waiting for the clock to go down, and I'm like, man, I feel like I'm missing something, but I have my glasses and I have my Topo. So I think I'm good. Okay. I think I'm good. But all right, hey, and by the way, I just seen the one and only Adrian Hawley in the chat. Adrian, what's up? Of course, the 4x4 van went live, so you have to tell me what you think. You know, a lot of people are loving it in the chats, and if you haven't already checked it out, please do. Adrian was kind enough when I was in Bozeman to let me swing by and do a couple videos with him. So, and the one that just went out is the his van tour, where, believe it or not, little teaser if you haven't seen it yet, not only is it super organized, it's every Bozeman vibe thing that you could want, but he also did something that I didn't know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this. I think I should have, but many others didn't as well, including the Lockfather, which made me a little happier actually, is he put a 4-wheel drive kit on a van. And yeah, which of course you probably always need in Bozeman. But anyways, all right. So that's some ramblings, I suppose, for you. A couple things. Man, I am really, really excited to, as we keep going through here, the new LockBoss giveaway that we're going to be coming out somewhere around the first of the year, and a bunch of other stuff. Really excited to share with you. We're really mixing it up. It's going to be a decent amount, maybe a lot different. I don't know. You have to wait and see, but I'm really excited to do that. So, okay. So let's go ahead now. Hey, this is the deal. Julio last week really got crazy with the sound. So Julio's kind of taking a pause this week, and hopefully some sound will be in the back next week. But really, really off the hook last week, I tell you. All right, here we go. Post of the week. This one comes from Justin L. Justin L says, hello, everyone at CLK. Just received the merch. What a great assortment. Thank you. Yeah, you got it, Justin. Thanks for sending the picture. Next up is Cody C. Cody C says, hello, thank you so much for the winnings. Everything looks awesome. You know, Cody, I have to admit, okay, Julio's not doing confession music tonight, taking a break, recalibrating. But I love seeing all those padlocks and all that stuff in the back there. Looks like a couple American boxes. And it's like, I actually really wish I could see everything that was on there, because it looks like you got a pretty cool setup, Cody. So, all right, very, very cool. All right, comment of the week. This one comes from Ed. Ed, how do you pronounce that last name properly? I want to call it Paradis, but I kind of went to public school in Idaho, so I'm not the greatest at it. But anyways, Ed says, Adrian has a really nice setup there. I'm a big fan of having separate containers for separate parts, especially specialty items. His system of organization is pretty efficient for providing excellent service to his customers. There's a lot of LockBoss demonstrated with that setup. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Took the words right from my mouth. So pretty cool. All right. So something that we have been doing every year, I think we're on the 3rd or so year of doing this, is the Locksmith Ledger comes out with the state of the industry study. Okay. And what I do is I break it up in a few pieces. But this year, you know, if you remember earlier in the year, I had Emily on, we were talking, and or was it over only the phone? I can't remember if she was on, but I remember having a conversation with her. Oh, you know what? She wasn't on. I'm sorry. It was when we were talking about Identikey. I was talking about Identikey with her, and I'm going to try to get her to come on after we're done doing the state of the industry, and kind of just chat about it and have some fun. But so anyways, I'll try to get that done for you all. All right. And if she can't, just so you know, it's my fault. But all right. So anyway, so this study gets put out once a year, and I think it really gives us a good glimpse into kind of what's going on. And I've actually found some really, I think what I found is some really interesting points that I want to discuss with you today. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over 3-4 points, and then I have some questions for you. Now, of course, this is interactive. Remember, it's me over here on one side of the internet, and it's you over there on the other. So your participation in answering the questions, as you know, is the best part of the videos, is everyone's input together, the collective thought and going through. So that is what is really important. But all right, with that being said, let's dive right into it. All right. And that a terrible photo, by the way. What, Lily? You gotta just not do that. I mean, oh, that's absolutely terrible. All right, here we go. So the 2025 State of the Industry, the Locksmith's Perspective. The purpose of the comprehensive Locksmith Ledger report is to provide a glimpse into the forces that affect North American locksmiths and security pros, and attempt to quantify those factors on their businesses. So let's dive into it here. Okay. So the first one here is the locksmith business profile. All right. And is what you're going to see here in the little note I put on there is it's notable that retail locksmith shops are making a comeback. And if you look at it here, the split really between the 32% retail locksmith shops and the 45% mobile locksmith, I mean, that's a pretty close gap, really, and 13% institutional or facilities. So, and then the 12% other. And as you know, if you've watched any in the past, you know I always want to know about the other. You know, what is other? Anyway, so I really find that pretty fascinating, honestly. And I know a bunch of you who are on the live today have shops. And of course, a bunch of you don't. So it'd be really interesting to kind of dive into this here in a minute. All right. So the professional services. Okay. So where I put the slide, I'm sorry, give me a second here. I'm going to remove that so I can see it. Okay, professional services. Respondents were asked to name the services that their businesses provide. They're asked to apply all, so the sum won't necessarily add up. So, of course, once again, you know, it's commercial door hardware installation, upgrades, repairs, 85%. So, man, a lot. Master keying, residential lock installation, upgrades, repairs, emergency lockout service, 70%, standalone access control, 50%, safe servicing, 50%, transponder programming, 48%, network access control is 30%, and my face is blocking a couple others there. But I think we got a good idea here. So kind of the notable part on this one is that the commercial door work overtakes master keying. And of course, I want to know why you think that might be. All right, let's get into the next one here. Okay. Business product segments and selection. On this question, respondents were asked to pick which category their business services sells. So what are you selling? So mechanical door hardware, 89%, electrified door hardware, 63%, safes, safes sales and service, 55%, which kind of matches up with the 51% that does the actual work. 53% access control, 51% automotive, then 18% video surveillance, and 14% home automation, which, by the way, I just think is really interesting on the 14% home automation, because that is such a huge market today, right? Now, of course, there's a lot of DIY in it, right? A lot of big box in it, but there's, I have to believe, and someone tell me if I'm right or wrong here, Okay. Um, who's getting this work? So who is getting the home automation work right now? Like, of course, a good amount of people buy their, Ring cameras or whatever from Home Depot. But there's a ton of people that have to hire to put that stuff in. I mean, that's just my take on it. But anyways, let me know in the chat on that one. But okay, so what product category do you most want to add to your business over the next year here, which is 19% want to add access control. 43% don't want to add any services. And then automotive, 7%, 6% safe and sales and service, 5.5% electrified door hardware, 5% home automation. Interesting. 3% mechanical door hardware, 4% alarms, 3% video. I mean, it's what this kind of tells me for the most part, right? Is that like the services that people have right now, they're pretty content with. Now, from my point of view, right, like when you are kind of content, if you're content with the services that you have, almost everyone wants business to grow, right? It's just kind of the nature of business, is it's typically going up or it's going down. And so that tells me the good news is that people are feeling that there's a lot more business to still be had just with their existing services, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's a conclusion that pops into my head automatically. But yeah, access control, it's so funny to me when you look at the list here, with automotive and even safes, home automation, all this other stuff. The number one thing people want to add in a lot of states has licensing in the way of that, small, low voltage licensing and stuff. So a little interesting. All right, let's keep it going here. Access control. Yeah, access control rules the day. Yep. While mechanical door hardware remains the dominant product category among locksmiths, 80 up to 89 from 82. Okay, very interesting. All right, so those are the main stats that we're going over today, and this is where we need your input. All right, first one is, what category do you fall in? Do you fall in the mobile? Do you fall into having a retail shop, institutional, or my favorite, other? So what are you thinking about other? But yeah, it doesn't, I don't know. I get kind of torn a lot of times on the difference between, like, if I was a mobile locksmith, what would make me want to open stores? Now, growing up with a dad that has 3 stores and has had a couple of others over the time, I definitely know the pros to having the stores, but I also kind of know the cons too. But so yeah, what category do you fall in? I'll give it just a minute here, and let's see there. Then I'm loving the username Stubbs McGee. That's good. That's good. So yeah, we'll keep it going here. All right, next question. Okay. What service is your biggest revenue driver right now? Which one is it? What service is your biggest revenue driver right now? Rekeys, master keying, key programming, commercial door hardware. What is it? It looks like MSC has on there that there's a lock shop that turns into a bar at night. That's very interesting. I'd like to see it, you know? It's kind of cool. Okay, yeah, a lot of, man, it's all over the place in the comments here. You know, and while people are putting in, you know, right now, what service is your biggest revenue driver right now? Something that I find so fascinating in these studies, I don't know, and if I'm wrong, show me, tell me, I would love it. But the automotive sector of key programming, I don't know, is the biggest it's ever been, right? It's also the most technical that it's ever been. The interesting part is that I've never seen a study that has the automotive locksmith programmers represented very well. And I always wonder why. Like, why do you think that is? Like, is there just something in the DNA of a automotive locksmith when they see to fill out these reports? They're like, I'm not filling out this report. I have a prox key to program, right? But anyways, maybe not very funny actually. But yeah, what's your biggest service? Yeah, lots of them here. All right. Thanks everyone for sharing there. Yeah, taking customers' vehicles to the dealer. I also started locksmithing work after getting tired of taking customers' vehicles to the dealer when they lost all their keys. Best thing I have done. I like it, Strausers. Nice work. You know, you found a need, you filled it. Good stuff. All right, here we go. Last question here, which is, what product category do you want to add in 2026? Or said another way, what product or service are you planning to add, if any? Are you content with your current services? Are you looking to get into safe work, automotive work, residential work, access control, vehicle diagnostics even? Like there could be all sorts of things that you could be wanting to get into. What are they? What are they? Man, it feels like I am back. What's going on here? All right, there we go, guys. What just happened there? Hopefully I'm good here. My screen cut out on me. It all went away. All right, let me get this back fired up here. Ken, I see your comments in there, Ken. All right, there we go. Hopefully, don't touch anything. You know, I start to make a Julio joke about it being quiet, and all of a sudden the screen crashed or something. What's going on with that? I think Julio is supposed to have the night off, but might be getting a little awkward. Okay. Let's see here. Would love to add automotive, but the investment is too steep for me. Yeah, it's no joke in today's market. Really, there's probably more money than ever to be had in the automotive side, but there's a good commitment in equipment, and then even a bigger commitment really in learning and all the knowledge that's required today. Let's see here. I already have towing and auto keys. Now I want to branch out into safe work. I like it, Stubbs. Let's see here. Most of mine is vehicle repo and reconstruction. Okay. Very cool. Increase lockout services and involved in more institutional. I like it. Locksmith parts business to compete against PJ, Ken says. Ken, come on now. Why compete when you can join, right? Come on now. Adrian wants to add services of hunting and skiing. I like that. You're really, you want to have a diversified business there, right? I can already see it now. Dave's Hunting Guide Service. I like it. Yeah. As Adrian says, yeah, you really have to go full send if you want to do auto. And I think that's one of those weird, like, let's talk about that for a minute here, and then we'll wrap up and get to the winners. But one of the, so let's say you kind of only get your feet wet with automotive, is what kind of happens, right? Is all of a sudden, you're running ads, you're doing promotions, you're telling people. And if you can't do a good majority of the vehicles, you're just going to be telling people, oh, yeah, we do programming, but we don't do that, or we don't do this, or oh, sorry, we can't do that one, right? And although it still is going to happen for the most part, right? There's very few services that do everything, but there's a good majority that will do most, right? And so, but if you're only going to be able to do like, let's say you get a cheap programmer, at this point, maybe you're doing like 500 or like a $500 program or something, you're not going to be able to do very much unless, who knows, maybe you have the right area to do it or something. But yeah, it looks like someone wants to get into the commercial, in commercial selling the Topo Chicos. I'll only need one customer, James says. I like it. I'm trying to get into bank work. Loxamore, what's up? Says, I'm already in auto, safe, commercial, and residential. Very good. Bank work seems like there's not a lot of people in it, right? It's probably something you can keep fairly busy. It's something I know very little of myself. I mean, I'm talking like vault or I know there's a lot of business too in those suctions, the whole suction systems and all that. That's interesting. That's why I'm still collecting equipment, so it doesn't happen very often. Yeah, totally get it, but well, very good, everybody. Those are some good conversation here. Hopefully some of what we talked about today sparks a thought or idea, or maybe you haven't thought about it yet because you've been so busy. It'll give you a chance to maybe review. But yeah, also ATM systems. Yep, thank you for that. And okay. Oh yeah. You know what? I take it back. What am I talking about? Ken, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, safety deposit box locks, and that's a very good business. I've actually done that. I think I've told the story. The first safety deposit box, bank called us out, and my dad just, I had been with him on several of them, and he showed me how to do it. And I go to my first. I think I was 16-ish, and I go there by myself. I go in there and I start to, pick it open, and I break the pick. And I can't remember how much it was at the time. It was I think about a few $100s. And let's just say the lock father was not impressed. Okay. The lock father was not impressed. I still remember it to this day because of it, but, so he had to come out and help me and get it finalized. But, hey, we all can do it. And it's just part of learning sometimes. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. But all right, everybody. Well, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Of course, let's get to the 5 lucky winners, and then let's talk about a couple things. All right. Here we go. LockBoss Giveaway Season 3.22. We're coming up on the end of Season 3. And we'll talk about it in a few minutes here, actually. All right. So first and foremost, what to do if you win. Email us your shipping info to sales@clksupplies.com or call us at 800-848-6989 and we'll send your gift soon. How to win. Comment on our YouTube videos with the hashtag LockBoss. Winners will be chosen from comments on the previous week's videos for our weekly giveaway. No purchase necessary. As a matter of fact, I put in YouTube videos because we're actually going to have this on the video on our podcast here soon, hopefully the next couple of days. So anyways, BJ, don't get distracted. Keep going here. All right, here we go. Winner number 1 this week is Ryan Bradley 4718. Congratulations. Winner number 2 is the Junkyard Locksmith. Congrats. Winner number 3 this week is Shelton Thomas John. Congratulations. Winner number 4 is Jack Rabbit Locksport. Congratulations. And last, of course, not least, winner number 5 this week is ZYZAGON. Congratulations. Of course, we have our LockBoss dialed in safety going on right now. Of course, you can buy it. Many of you have, but most importantly, you can get it for free with orders over $404.04. All you have to do is add to cart for offer. All right, everybody, and that right there wraps up today's show. Oops, I think I actually kicked that on accident. All right, so hey, let's talk about a couple things while we're at it. And then, of course, remember, if you want to head on over to the Discord because you want more where that came from, the Discord's going to be it. I'll be over there for a while, and then I'm going to have to prepare and get ready for the NWLA presentation I'm doing at 7 o'clock this evening. So now remember, if you are an NWLA member, make sure you join us tonight, right? Come on. But all right, so we're getting ready here soon. We're going to move on to the LockBoss season 4, essentially, and we're going to be changing a lot of things up. And before we finalize all of the changes, I want to know, what would you like to see with the LockBoss giveaway? Huh? What would you like to see? It'd be interesting to know. Don't hear anything. I'm waiting. Yeah. So we're going to be really mixing it up. I don't have anything to share yet because, but I always like to tease a little bit. And so, but we're going to be mixing it up. As a matter of fact, over these next couple months, you should be seeing a lot of changes happening over here. So I'm pretty excited about it. And I don't know. We'll have to see what everybody thinks. But all right. Well, anyways, everybody, I hope that you have a wonderful Tuesday evening. You're staying safe out there. Of course, you're having lots of fun with locks and keys, whether you're working on them for a living or you're picking them for fun. As a matter of fact, as I was sitting here, I was like, man, I wonder what I really should have done with one of these rewind picks that was Tyler gave to me. Is I should have a wafer lock sitting here. I don't think I do. Be fun to see if I could pick it live on here, right? But all right, look at that. It says Ken says LockBoss season 4 winners credit up to $1,000. Ken, why so little? Why so little? You know, it's 500 now. I mean, you could have said 5,000, 50,000, something crazy. But okay, James is more on track here. So not free Black Widows. I don't know. Yeah, you're right, Strausers. Yeah, this one does. That one does. Let me think about this. Yeah. Okay. Um, Ken says he found an original A1 spinner. Very nice. You're talking about the black. Which one, Ken? You have to let us know which one. But very good, guys. All right. Well, hey, you all have a wonderful and safe Tuesday evening. Of course, if you want to hop into the Discord, hang out for a bit, you are absolutely more than welcome to. And yeah, of course, we'll see you back same place, same time next week on the eve. Should be fun. All right, everybody. See you next time. All right.